Hi, this is Pastor Amy from the Park Church Co-op. It's Thursday, June 10th, and I'm bringing you some thoughts for this upcoming Sunday sermon. Last week, I started a 4-week preaching series on the values at the Park Church Co-op. Last week, I talked about creating a culture of radical openness. This week, I want to talk about the value of building community inside to serve the community outside. It's the reason we've been making a push recently to invite more people to be part of our community. It's not so that we can continue to be church for church's sake. It's so that by building a community of people who share mutual love and care for one another, that we can then begin to care better for our neighbors. Any church's mission is not to serve itself, but to serve others. We've done this in a number of ways. For 4 seasons, we've opened our church in the winter as a respite program for 10 to 15 homeless individuals. We know that by doing this program, we've saved lives. Partnering with community organizations like Breaking Ground that staffs that program. And so we're so thankful that God has enabled us to do this, has blessed this community with the resource of this building to open to our neighbors who don't have shelter in those colder months. We've also been a place these past 4 or 5 years where children find a safe place for arts programming after school, our preschool through Cottonwood, our partners at Cottonwood, and also the theater program, the Brooklyn Children's Theater. And so we're happy to be a space where our community feels welcome to come. We've hosted a number of community meetings, whether it's the McGolrick Park Neighborhood Alliance, the support group that meets on Sunday nights, and other cultural conversations, and as well as, of course, a space for the music and the arts. We want to continue to be that place, and we want to invite more and more people to be a part of this and to really help us in this task of building community inside to serve the community outside. Jesus really began this building of the church community when he traveled from town to town, inviting people to be part of the ministry. We know at least 12 of them as the disciples of Jesus, but crowds of people followed and were curious about what he was doing, and many of them became part of the movement that led to the church. And so we are continuing in that tradition and in that ministry of sharing a new message about God's love and forgiveness for all people. I've met so many people recently that have shared generously their stories of experiences in faith communities, whether it be a church or the Jewish community or other experiences, and that those haven't always been positive, that sometimes those communities can feel exclusive and be judgmental. We're trying to create a community that is supportive and wide enough to expand to anyone who wants to be part of what we do. Our mission is to build up our relationships with one another in this space and in this community that we are creating, and invite others, more people from our community to join us, not for our own sake, but for the sake of our neighbors. There's a reason that Jesus chose 12 disciples to be part of the ministry. It's because he couldn't do it alone. As a pastor, I'm very aware that this church is not about me. It's about you, and it's about us together serving God's purpose in this place, to share widely just love and welcome, and a place where everyone has a safe space to come for the things that they value. The crowds followed Jesus because they liked what they heard. We know that our neighbors appreciate what we do in the community, and we are so thankful for the continued love and support that we hear, that I hear as I'm out on the streets talking to people, and people who just have sent us messages recently, either through our With Friends or through our Facebook, just expressing how much they appreciate what the church has done. I invite you to come and to be a part of this community and to help us in our mission to build community inside, to serve the community outside. I hope that maybe you'll come on a Sunday morning at 11 and be part of our worship experience. It's a great time where people get together not only for worship, but spend time afterward at coffee hour talking to one another. And sometimes it's hard to get people to leave because we love each other so much. So I invite you to be part of that, or just send me an email at pastoramy@parkchurchcoop.org to let me know your thoughts about building community in this place and what our neighbors need most from us. And leave a comment below if you want to be part of the conversation. Thanks for joining me this week. I look forward to talking to you next week.